All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Veg Networking, where vegan, plant-based focused entrepreneurs connect and collaborate. Today's special guest is a board member of the Lower Lonsdale BIA, judge for the BD School of Business Peak Performance Case Competition, panelist for BC Children's Hospital Foundation Miracle Weekend, a self-proclaimed superfan of the Major League Baseball's Houston Astros, and the owner of Canada's first vegetarian organic grocery store, Larry's Market. We're thrilled to have you here with us today. Welcome, Ryan Dennis.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. That was really nice. I'm surprised you picked up on the Houston Astros thing. That's awesome. I've been a fan for like 30 plus years, and went down in 2017 to watch them play in the World Series.
Yes, I am a Major League Baseball fan myself, so I can. There's a couple players that we can probably have a conversation about.
Yeah, awesome. What's your team?
I'm Blue Jays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, Ryan. So in terms of our first conversation starter is centered around your plant-based vegan origin story. I'm not sure how that fits into your world, but if you would share a little bit more about that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I worked for a major grocery company for 25 years, and we had gotten to a point where I was responsible for 166 stores doing merchandising. And at that point, when I just had kind of just become a general manager, I found out that my wife had stage 2 breast cancer. And so we started, going through all these different, learnings as far as like plant-based eating and trying to understand, what are we doing and what is our game plan? And so at that point, we made the decision that I was going to quit my job at this big grocery store company, and I was going to open up our own store. And there was a complete gap in the in retail as far as vegetarian goes. There's vegan stores and then there's regular grocery stores, but there's nobody in between. And we wanted to be the bridge between the let's just call it the flexitarian and the vegan. So my wife went through all the different treatments. She had chemo, she had radiation. Now she's 4 years since being diagnosed with cancer that she's good to go, and we're running Larry's Market, and she's a real estate agent, and we're happy with what we're doing, and we're giving healthy food to the community.
Incredible. We've had a couple special guests who have had similar health obstacles in their family, and thankfully coming out with such a success story just like yours. So we're happy to hear that that's the outcome. And the next question is, what's your entrepreneurial origin story? And it kind of sounds like you were an intrapreneur with this massive company and then moved into entrepreneurship. So yeah, just tell us a little bit about that spark, or maybe your entrepreneurial origin story started a long time ago. Who knows?
Yeah, no, it's interesting because I did a lot of unique things for the company I worked for. I opened up as store manager the first grocery store on a campus in Canada, which was UBC. I had, kind of created some opportunities within that company and doing sections of, gluten-free, the first gluten-free sections, and things were just a little bit different. And then as I opened up my own store, I realized that I knew nothing about being an entrepreneur because I'd been with a corporation for so long. And then you really go through the learning. We don't have any financial backing. We have done this all on our own. And you really learn the value of having great people on a team and how important that is to making your business successful. And that has been the true cornerstone of Larry's Market, is that people love coming to our store because there's Georgia, our chef, is known in the community. People love coming into the store. We have Megan, who picks groceries, and she makes sure that the customer gets exactly what they're looking for. So we've had the customers are really getting to know the team members, and that's been the critical, that's been the success to being an entrepreneur, is having the right people in the right spots. I believe, anyways.
Absolutely. And from what I've seen, I've read nothing short of people just it's like you're the coach of a MLB team. Like people just want to play for you and they want to show up and they want to be there. So it says a lot about you, of course. And yes, when I've gone to Larry's Market, it's like you're going into this destination area. It's just kind of like seems like it's an oasis away from it. So yeah, I absolutely love it for sure. You spoke a little bit about before we hopped on what the community is facing in terms of sort of restrictions and having to change on the fly. So with all that being said, maybe that or other things, what are some trends in your industry?
Right. So we started doing same day grocery delivery 2 weeks before the pandemic started. So a year and a bit ago. That was kind of as we got into the heat of the pandemic, when people, were trying to find a way to get groceries. That's when we jumped in and we, said that we can help you. And it started really slowly in that first couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden, one of a big social media company put out a whole thing about Larry's Market. You can get it was the Daily Hive. They put out something and they said, hey, you can get your groceries delivered same day at Larry's Market. And honestly, from that day forward, we've never looked back. We have been the place to go for same day grocery delivery, and we're a 2,500 square foot store. So what we've created is a place where, number one, you can come in and get you can quickly shop for all the grocery needs you have, but also when someone places an order, I can literally have these big grocery orders put together in under 10 minutes because of the fact the store is so small, and the team here knows where everything is. It's just so it's almost like a perfect size for making things happen quickly. So we say it's healthy food conveniently, and we do everything we can to make sure that healthy food is convenient. Alongside that, we have a kitchen here that's performing really well, and the whole idea is that you get a chickpea tuna. So if you love to eat meat or seafood, you come into Larry's and you're finding options that you can kind of go to that remind you, or kind of like you can be familiar with, and then it gets you into the trial of the vegetarian food. So chickpea tuna being one, but the BLT with the coconut bacon is number two. So it's interesting. We're right near C-SPAN, and we have all these people come in that they want something hearty. They don't know they're coming to a vegetarian store, and now we've made them regulars because they try this and they say, hey, it's not a hummus sandwich, which is all you can usually find when you're eating vegetarian. And so we've created some real different but familiar products or food items for people that are wanting to try vegetarian.
Yes, creating real impact and change with that segment of the market, which is, if we really truly do want to make an impact, it's going to be catering and just providing value to that market segment of the market. So that's wonderful. And you're right about the size of the store. It's so like efficient and just feels, like I said, so cozy and warm inside. So that's very, very cool. And in terms of your kitchen and your chef, oh man, the pizza there, like incredible. So where, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe where you've already gone, made some progress is in online ordering, I think. And then as a follow-up to that, we'd like to know, where is Larry's Market going in the future? Are there any plans that you could drop for us, or what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of offers, a lot of opportunities to grow Larry's, and we believe that finding the right spaces with the right I would say density, and really trying to find areas like that really want to build community, because that's what we do. We feel like we're that place where you can come and sit at not so much nap right this minute, but you can come and sit at a table and you can meet the guy who lives in the building next to you. And now I'm watching them. They all say hello to each other. Now they've started talking with each other. We've really created community with Larry's, and we're the place to go for the morning coffee. And sometimes you see those people 3-4 times a day. So we're telling people that are developing these spaces that we want to go in the right spot, and we want to be the place where the people that are moving into these buildings can go and have a healthy meal, but at the same time, it's kind of a cool place to be and to be seen. So the growth of Larry's will we know that the customer, because we do deliver in Vancouver, and our heat maps are telling us right now that, hey, you need to have a store in Vancouver, Larry. So we're looking at that right now and trying to figure out, where it's going to be. So we have lots of opportunities coming at us, and it's just a matter of us putting the stamp on the next space, and it will be coming soon, actually. So stay tuned.
Okay, very exciting news. And then, did you want to speak at all to the online ordering, or?
Yeah, I mean, online being the same day delivery, that's the uniqueness of Larry's Market. We have all the food ready to go. We have the kitchen food, the groceries ready to go same day. We're right now we're in a position where we have enough drivers. We have the ability to continue to expand. So that's what we're doing, is we're basically wanting to expand our groceries into a new location in Vancouver so that it's easier to get it to the customers who continue to order from us. So it's amazing, because we thought we'd be delivering in North Vancouver. That's the only people that would really know us. But the majority of our orders are actually coming from Vancouver. So that's another thing I will we'll be letting our Instagram family know very soon where we're going. But it's growth in online, and it's growth in brick and mortar as well.
Okay, well, you heard it here, folks. Stay tuned to the Larry's Markets Instagram page and see what's coming in Vancouver. That's very, very exciting. And the next one is, off the top, we mentioned your support for and involvement with BC Children's Hospital. So on that note, whether it's just you yourself or Larry's Market or both, are there any charitable organizations that you're supporting?
Yeah, so it's interesting, because when I did work for the last company, I was pretty involved with BC Children's Hospital, and it was amazing. You walk through there and you just feel like it's just kind of like you want to help so badly. And so coming to Larry's, we were like, what do we really want to do, and how do we how does Larry's help the community? So we actually have a Larry's Loves You box, and the Larry's Loves You box goes out once a week to a family that really needs the groceries, or even sometimes someone that is going to be rewarded for doing something amazing in the community. So we just had one recently where this someone had it was a major transplant that they had, and basically their next door neighbor really wanted to say, we want to help you. So they phone Larry's, and it's kind of cool to be able to help like that. And then other people are phoning our store and saying, hey, can you go up to Lionsgate Hospital and deliver 25 wraps, 25 salads to the emergency team, the people in the emergency department, because we want to say thank you for what you're doing during COVID. So there's been all sorts of neat things that we've been able to do, and the staff at the hospital just say, hey, we love Larry's. The fact that you guys have these healthy wraps and salads, thank you very much. And the customer, they seem to never want the recognition, but we have customers that come in here and make those either purchase for those areas, but they know to come to Larry's. They want to send out healthy food, and we love doing it. So the Larry's Love You box is how we provide to the community right now.
Boom. That is an answer to that question. Wow. And you bring up a great point. Supporting a charitable organization does not need to be this big thing. It can be exactly like you said, which is an individual or a staple in the community. And it all comes back to what you talked about, Larry's being a pillar in the community. So that's just remarkable, outstanding. Okay. As a sports fan, I think a father, a business owner, are there any books, apps, or podcasts that you would recommend to the group?
Well, I've been how they built this is a interesting one. I think that's what it's called, anyways. But there was a whole John Mackey was on there from Whole Foods, and he was talking about his experience as opening up his first store. It was called A Safer Way, and he talks about how he wanted to be sued so that his name would get out there and get the recognition. Things like that. I love hearing the stories of how entrepreneurs really had that fight at the beginning and they really worked hard to get to a spot, and then they felt this kind of overwhelming sense of people loving what they're doing, and then it kind of that's I love to hear that, and we're working so hard right now to get Larry's out there into the community, and I'm kind of big on listening to those entrepreneurial stories. So anything I literally go on there and I look for stories of how people built their business.
Remarkable. Excellent. So it goes without saying, you've already mentioned a bunch of different kind of outfits and everything like that, but maybe just you personally, are there any companies that you look to in terms of they move the needle and you're kind of like looking up to them, or companies that you absolutely just love to support?
Well, I think like we have so many local suppliers. We have one example is Mumgreen. They're a peanut butter company. They work so hard on these 3 flavors of peanut butter. They literally have started at craft fairs selling peanut butter, and we worked with them. We were the first ones to carry their product, and now they're selling in places like Foxtrot in Chicago, which is a company that I'm following quite a bit. Foxtrot is a small, ready-to-go market, just like ours, that does same-day delivery. They're very similar to what we're doing. But I'm always loving watching the local Vancouver artisan, the ones that have, they show up everywhere and they do everything to really try and make their business the best it can be. And another example would be Feed Me Fit, who is a lady who has made lasagnas that were gluten-free and vegan, and Big Mac wraps. And, she's every event I've ever gone to, I swear she's there. So, I love following those types of companies. The big ones, I've probably, when you look at companies like Whole Foods and how they had the original Whole Foods before Amazon, how they really, embodied the team member, and how they were doing, graffiti, hiring graffiti artists to do their signage to make sure that their marketing was nailed down. I love stuff like that, and I love that non-corporate kind of business. I stop in grocery stores everywhere I go, and we haven't been on a vacation for a while, but when we do, that's kind of the thing. Is I love to go to grocery stores and check out what everybody's up to, because there's so many cool ideas. There's so many grocery stores to look at. So
yeah, absolutely. And you brought up Feed Me Fit. It goes without saying. That's something, if those listening with us right now or listening afterwards don't know, North Van has been having a tough couple weeks, all pandemic news aside. The completely unexplainable stabbing trauma that had happened in the community, along with the recent fire that did directly affect Feed Me Fit. So if anybody wants more information on that, let Helen or myself know, and we'll be able to pass that information along to you, and just continue to keep helping out North End as much as possible right now. So thank you so much for that, Ryan. Okay, last one, 8 of 8. You've dropped a lot of knowledge already. And this last one is prefaced by saying that we are definitely asking for your advice. A lot of our special guests are so modest. They say, well, I don't know if I'm the right person to give advice and this and that. So with all that being said, for entrepreneurs and business owners, are there any nuggets of advice that you would like to share?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, now that you prefaced it with saying that, I don't want to say I don't know anything, but I feel like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you have these thoughts of like, what am I doing? And, like, we put everything into this, and, is it going to work? And the biggest thing for me was I put a sign like right above when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I saw was this little thing that said, what would you do if you knew you would not fail? And that has been the driving force of everything I do. Is what would I do if I knew I would not fail? And I just when I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning wondering whether at the beginning whether I had put invest too much? Like, do we have, are people going to show up tomorrow at the store? Like, you just have all these crazy thoughts during the first, I'd say, 6 months. And what I'd say to people is just, just keep pushing forward, build relationships in the community, work really closely with if you're buying product with your supplier partners. I think the biggest thing for me was just like keep pushing forward, and everything will work out. And that's how I feel. Looking back on it now, it's easy to say that, but it's tough starting any business. And I hear that from a lot of people that have started their businesses. Is those wake ups, and you just you just got to push forward. So that would be my advice.
Fabulous, fabulous. So you heard it here. What would you do if you knew you would not fail, or if you knew you could not fail? So that's fabulous advice. And thank you so much for sharing. I gotta ask, I haven't been able to find it anywhere. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough, but I gotta throw a bonus number 9 here at you. And that is, why Larry's? Why the name Larry's? And I'm sure you get called Larry all the time. So what's the story behind the name?
Okay, so we are all Larry is the answer. So Larry is the person that is looking for a healthy meal, or wants to learn a little bit more about being plant-based. And that is the whole goal, is we want everybody to be Larry, and everybody comes in here and asks, who is Larry? So we say we're all Larry. So Larry is also trying to figure out what that next meal is that they're going to eat more vegetables in. My middle name is Larry too, so there's a little bit of that's kind of where we got it from. But we all wear shirts in the store, which I'll show you mine. It says we are all Larry, and so all of us are wearing these shirts. And when people come into the store, like I tell you, maybe 20 times a day, people say, "Who's Larry?" So we all say we are all Larry.
You are Larry. Thanks for asking. That's so cool. All right. Well, listen, we always like to leave the floor with our special guests. If there's anything that we missed, anything special that you want to mention, please, the floor is yours.
No, thanks for having me. I feel that Larry's is kind of a place where people want to ask a lot of questions about. It's the first vegetarian grocery store, so there's a lot of unknowns here. And we want people just to come down and hang out. They don't have to buy anything, but they can just take a look around and really try and just see what we're up to. And I think just become part of our community. It's a small community, and the team members just love having people come in here to chat to. So yeah, no, thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, we're so happy, thrilled that you carved out some time for us today. Thank you so much. So for those who want to read or look a little bit more on the web, www.larrysmarket.ca. So that's LARRYS market.ca. And on Instagram, it's a plural. So it's Larry's Markets, LARRYS Markets with an S on Instagram. Ryan, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being here.
So thank you very much. Have a great day.